first ever virtual reality run at a GDQ event. Take it away, buffet time.
Okay, hello. I'm Buffet Time. Thank you guys so much for making this donation goal. It's great. We're just gonna get right into it because we need to get right here. There's a little bit of a cutscene before we start the game. So first off, I'm Buffet Time, and I'm here with. And so we're two of the top runners, and all right. So now that we press the trigger, there's gonna be this little cutscene that starts. While we're in here, I'm just gonna quickly explain the first glitch you guys are gonna see. So the first thing you're gonna see is called an extended jump. This is a more recent jump skip that we just found. And basically, it's we can pause during a type of teleport in the game, if we do it at a very specific time and in a specific place. Then it allows us to, while the game is paused, we can move in real life and we get further distance in the game. And also, I'm gonna look over here to the right, away from this, because this will set up my play space to be facing in the right direction. All right, so wait for that to go. So
I'll also quickly explain the green borders you're seeing there are the boundaries in real life. So during the run, Buffet is gonna need to make sure he doesn't actually pass those in real life while running around.
Also, time is.
Oh, sorry. Yeah, I'm Auraboy.
Timer start now.
Oh yeah, timer's going. Okay. So yeah, first thing right here, extend and jump. This may not look quite like a wall, however, there is an invisible wall going all the way up from this railing so that you can't go through. So
it's a little finicky.
An extend and jump right through it, if you can get it.
1 second.
There we go. All right. So
it's a little finicky.
Two of the biggest glitches. Extended jump allows you to go through walls, and then we have another one called height adjust, which allows you to go through floors and ceilings. Going through floors and ceilings is a lot easier in this game. It kind of just is like go through, and if you hit the pause button, then cool, you're through. But extended jump has a little more to it. And then right here, you're gonna see he's teleporting. Oh, well, he kind of bugged out there, but he's supposed to be teleporting a lot faster than the game normally lets you, and that's because we're able to set the teleport button to an analog button on the controller, and then through some Steam VR special bindings, we're actually able to kind of mess with it so that it'll spam the button every single frame. And for whatever reason, if you spam it every frame, the game just ignores the cooldown that is supposed to be on your jump timer, and you just get to zoom. It can be a little finicky, especially during frame rate drops. It doesn't really like it, but for the most part it works. Also, just a little thing is touching that drone as it comes up makes it skip its animation of it scanning you, so the scene goes a little bit faster.
Yeah. All right, so right when this guy stun six me, we're gonna finally finish this first map, and so that's right now. And now during this, I'm gonna set up for the next map because we're gonna start off instantly with the first height adjust of the game. So, or do you want to go over what that is?
Yeah. So in the next map, he's going to spawn inside a van. If he crouches down in real life, hits the stand button, because for height adjust, there's an accessibility option that makes it so if you're unable to move up and down in real life, you can just press a button to do it in game. But since we are able to move up and down in real life, we can crouch in game, tell the game to make us stand, and then stand in real life to get double the height, which allows us to go up and out of the top of the van. Now, to trigger the load to the next area, all that has to happen is this grenade exploding. Normally this happens during a cutscene, but instead we can literally just go up and manually press the button on the grenade to make it explode, and it skips the whole cutscene there. And since he was height adjusted, he was still outside the van and is able to move around out of bounds now, using a height adjust to get back inbounds there. Doesn't want to wait for this ladder, so instead we go up on the fence, height adjust up and get just enough height to go up on the ladder there. And then first and only real big waiting moment to the run is Russell.
Right here, Russell. All right, so we're gonna wait for him to get in. So in a little bit, we're gonna go to donations, but first we need to set up this cutscene. So I'm just gonna grab this real quick. I need to be looking at Russell, because otherwise this cutscene won't start, so.
Russell.
There we go. Now I'm just gonna put this right on the table here, because that will happen for something later. And also real quick, in my opinion / my view, Black Lives Matter and trans rights are human rights. And now you guys can do donations while we wait.
Great. Let's hear it.
All right, we have $25 from Micro500. Hey, Buffet Time, Micro500 here. Glad to see you on the virtual couch again. Hope to see you again in person at another GDQ in the future. Good luck on the run.
This is Eli.
We have $100 from Head Crab Rave.
That's it.
Happy crabs dancing. Waves splash on a sandy beach.
Okay,
Ah, it's on my face!
You said us.
Well, one of us, me, will have to stay here for this.
We have $20 from M Sleeper 221.
Just outside, there's a
Can't wait
second
for the
tunnel
Half-Life
also
Alyx
leads out of
speedrun.
City 17.
I've been a fan of Half-Life since the first game. How can you not be hyped for the first Half-Life game in 13 years? Not to mention the first VR speedrun at GDQ.
That'll let me take over the system. Train comes to a halt, you deal with the combine situation.
We have enough time for like I think one more.
Sounds good. Where's the train?
We have $50 from Spook72. It may be called Half-Life, but there's no life missing from this GDQ. Thanks to the crew and runners for overcoming a pandemic to continue your mission of philanthropy and frame saving.
I have a few sets through there.
Okay, so you're gonna see right here. Normally you would have to wait. Oh well, we didn't get quite in time, but the hitbox to get those gloves is actually there right as the door opens, so you don't have to wait for things to fall down. Now we just have to go through a quick tutorial. Grab these a few times until he will allow you to move on. Currently, Russell is doing an animation upstairs where he like kind of sits down and is still talking to you, and he will throw a gun out at you. As you can see, he just threw the gun before he actually threw it. For whatever reason, you have to wait for his animation to finish, but he'll throw the gun at the proper time he's supposed to, even if his animation isn't done. However, this ammo here, he will not throw until his animation is at the right moment for it. So really that whole section is kind of just an auto-scroller. It doesn't really matter if you're a little slow.
Yeah, so the second we shoot open that lock, then we're finally able to go ahead. That's the trigger that allows this to go. Otherwise, we'd skip right by it. So maybe one day in the future, we'll be able to go right, through to here. And that would save a lot of time.
Yeah, that whole Russell scene.
Yeah. Okay, so finally done with chapter 1. Now we get on to the real cool stuff of this run. If you want to do a quick donation real quick, we have a little bit of time.
We have $7 from Sir Punalot. Let's go make GDQ history with this Half-Life Alyx run.
Okay. So I'm just going to set up my position again like I did earlier. Since we have this little bit of time, it's always good to get your play space and where you are in real life. Because one of the things about VR speedrunning is you can punch things. You are allowed to do that. It's like the game doesn't stop you from doing that.
I thought you were going to do the teleport into the door thing.
Oh, and also, yeah, you can do that.
Yeah, if you teleport into the door for some reason, it just teleports you back to the center of the car.
Now, see, can you explain the...
Yeah, so the
right
gates there. Gates in this game are a suggestion. There's a lock on the gate we're supposed to shoot, but instead you can just grab the gate, pull it towards you, and then walk right through it. The gate doesn't open. It's still locked, but it just, for whatever reason, has no collision when you do that. So just passes right by here, and now we're to one of the bigger glitches in the run, which is hatch skip. So what he's going to do is height adjust downwards, so he goes under the ground, and then he's going to be crawling back and forth in real life, and each time he gets to a different side, he's going to rotate his play space around, always making it so that he has room to crawl towards the end of the hatch, going back and forth, and then once he finally gets to the end, he will height adjust back up in bounds, and now he's on the other side of the hatch and does not have to open it.
That's where they keep it.
Ooh, there we go.
That map, done.
Now, there is a newer way to skip that, but it's new, and I wanted to show that one off.
Yeah, I also don't
It
think
doesn't
it
save
saves
too much time
Yeah.
either. Yeah, it saves like probably half a second, I think.
Yeah, we also don't need that much ammo in the run, only like maybe a couple clips or so, except it's very easy to accidentally put your hand behind your back and then accidentally take a clip out without realizing it and just drop it on the floor, so always good to have a few extras.
Oh boy.
Can you explain why I did a slower teleport right there as well?
Oh yeah, so there's a barnacle there where if you do the fast teleport all the way to the end of the train, when you finish the teleport and you're already all the way at the end, for some reason the barnacle will still pick you up and like zoom you all the way back to it.
Thanks, Russell.
But yeah, so he just height adjusted under the train to get through there, does another clip through the gate, and right into the next load.
Ooh. Yeah, so now this is one of the quicker loads. Some loads are actually longer than others. This game, you really want to run whatever the fastest drive you have. We're just going to do a quick height adjust because it's like a little bit faster than using that wheel right over there.
Yeah, and then...
Oh, I just... Uh-oh. We're going to have to load real
okay,
quick.
that was something called a zero zip, which we're going to learn in like 2 minutes.
Yeah. We'll get there.
Whoops, that was accidental. So... Oh, I lost my train of thought. What was I saying there? I think I was gonna say like there's a puzzle coming up, but of course we already know the solution to the puzzle, and so you can just go right through it. Doing fast teleports all the way along, get through really quickly.
Damn it.
Well, the good news is he's probably fine.
My fast teleport's being a little wonky right now, but it'll be fine.
You seeing floating garbage?
We don't need it.
It's just.
It's working in the places it needs to.
Yeah. All right, so now there's a big cutscene here with the Vortigaunt, but he takes a long time to talk, so we're just gonna height adjust under the wall, get to the other side. He won't start his talking. If he gets up on these crates here, he can height adjust up through the ceiling, and then traverse out of bounds over towards the load area. However, the load area does not actually load its textures. It still has all its collision, but no textures until the Vortigaunt opens the door after. So currently, he's walking around on invisible geometry, knowing exactly where the load area is, and then he will height adjust down into the load. And there we go.
That. Whew. So that's the first like major skip, I feel.
Yeah.
Like that one's like that's pretty hard to
I
learn
mean,
when
Hatch
you're
Skip was
first
pretty
doing
big
this.
too.
It is. I feel like this is like the first like really hard one though.
Yeah, okay.
Hatch skip is a little easy.
Now zipping. That thing that we saw earlier, but now I'm going to actually explain it. If you change your movement over to shift, and then you just jiggle the thumbstick really fast, the game just decides, all right, I'm going to teleport you right to 000 on the
Put
map.
him on the train. He's on the move. You've got to find
Very odd glitch. This is useful in some maps, not on others. On this map, it happens that 0 is out of bounds, but on top of geometry, so we're able to now traverse out of bounds to get to the load room. And by doing this, we end up skipping the shotgun and the flashlight, but we know exactly where we're going, so we don't need the flashlight, and we don't exactly do much combat, so we don't need the shotgun. So it doesn't really matter too much. Anyways, clipping back in bounds into the room here and into the load.
That whole entire sequence, like the zip and everything, saves so much time because that first map is actually one of the longest maps in the
it's
entire
huge.
game. Yeah, so like actually chapter 3 is one of the most difficult parts of the entire run. And you need to practice this a lot if you ever try and run this game.
So, okay, this zip here is really funny. So we're gonna do a zip, and 000 is actually way past in the distance. However, we fly by and hit the load zone on the way. By doing this, instead of spawning us where it's supposed to on the next map, since we were still on our way to 000, the game just decides on the next map, I'm gonna spawn you at 000. So you're gonna see that the area we spawn in does not look like this load room at all. And it just happens by absolute sheer luck that 000 on this map is in bounds at the end of the map, which is just the luckiest possible thing. This puzzle here is randomly generated, so you just gotta quickly figure it out.
That was an easy one.
Yeah, that was really good.
Yeah, so those are randomly generated, so sometimes they are a little bit complicated. Most of the time, they're pretty easy once you've done a few of them.
Yeah.
Ooh, he's not. Why is he right there?
Oh wait, yeah,
I don't know,
that didn't. What the heck? He did not spawn where he was supposed to. Well, that's
That
good
is
because normally
really good.
he spawns in a spot where you have to shoot him, but instead he spawned way out of the way. It's really weird.
Just get me in. It'll only take a second.
If we can figure that out, that'd be really
Yeah.
nice.
Where is?
And also their rotations are a little bit random. And so if you remember the 0 zip, it was right over there. We're just gonna do that again because it's faster
Yeah,
to get
why
back
wait for
out
the door
here.
open?
10 seconds out. That's what it's supposed to do.
Oh, I was still holding the red
I do that
switch.
sometimes too.
Also, this is really cool and one of the most insane things to first see when you're playing through the game.
Yeah, this
So
scene.
it's just. So real quick, I'm going to switch over back to continuous movement. I'm going to reload my gun, and just look at all this. See, this is something you don't get in pancake games, but in VR is insane.
Pancake games. First time I've heard that.
Pancake games are non-VR games.
Yeah, I think I got what you meant.
Yeah.
Okay, another big skip here, Eli skip. So normally you have to save Eli here. However, instead we're going to height adjust downwards and move around.
Oh, wait, where am I?
Yeah, no,
Ooh, that was weird.
didn't quite get out of bounds there. There we go.
There we go.
And now he can go down onto this chamber that Eli would normally be in and just skip the whole thing and go right to the load room. There is a trigger that's really close that we almost hit, and if you hit the trigger, it will cause it so that you can no longer save because the game doesn't want you to save during a cutscene. However, since we're skipping out of bounds, we never hit the trigger to allow you to start saving again, and we do have to save and load later in the run, so you can get it's kind of just soft locked later, not realizing it. Well, not soft locked necessarily, but just you can't complete the run.
You know?
This is the fastest map in the entire game.
I wouldn't say
I mean,
fastest map,
chapter?
fastest chapter. Yeah,
Sorry,
fastest
fastest
map is the next
chapter.
one. So yeah, this subway, they normally just give you a little view of the exit of the subway to be like, hey, look, here's where you're supposed to go. Except instead of going through the whole subway, we can just skip it and just go under the gate that's blocking us, and boom, we're already at the end of the map. And actually end the whole chapter.
Yeah, so that's the end of chapter 4. Now we're going to chapter 5. Now, chapter 5 is, in my opinion, the hardest chapter in the entire game.
Yeah, it's the longest one. It has 4 maps, which is the most of any chapter.
Yeah, it's all the things we found in this is the real reason this game is so short as it is.
Yeah, so for this map, the load area just happens to be... Ooh, that was a good save. So the load area is right below your spawn room, so you can just height adjust down and go over to it. He moved a little too far and ended up falling. Luckily, he caught himself because if he falls too far, he will die, and when you die, you have to wait like 5 to 10 seconds for the game to pull up the load menu.
Yeah,
Whereas
so if you know you're about to die, the thing to do is just instantly try and pause so that you don't have to do that. There we go. That's how it usually goes. So if I did it correctly the first time, like, as you can see, you just do that one clip and then we just have to go back here because the load zone is over here. That's where we're going to. So that's the first map. Now the second map, this is where it gets really messy.
This one's a pain. So first thing he's going to do is height adjust under the door that's blocking him right here. And now normally what you're supposed to do is there's this giant basement area that you have to go down. And then at the bottom there's an elevator and you can take the elevator up. However, instead of going all the way down, we're just gonna get up on this barrel and start scaling the building. Definitely in places that we are not meant to be. However, all of this, it lets us teleport to, so we abuse that. Also, there's like a weird invisible floor here. Sure, why not? This is very difficult because there are a lot of places where the game will just kill you like, oh, this ledge is fine, but this ledge will kill you even though it's absolutely identical. So you just kind of have to know exactly where to go. And he's grabbing this table here for something that will be useful on the next map, so just quickly bringing that through the load.
Yeah, and so when I did that, I need to hold my triggers when I start the next level, because for some reason with the index controllers, they just don't notice the pressure sensitivity.
Yeah, I think it's because they're capacitive and other controllers aren't, so it doesn't notice you're still grabbing. You have to use the triggers, just a little note.
And that just saves a little bit of time because then the table's still inside of our hands.
Yeah, so now
could
he's
you
going
please
to
explain that?
height adjust and do a pause to bring the table up out of bounds with us. It's a little stuck in the ceiling. There we go. And now we're doing a save load. So what happens here is we were out of bounds, but not quite high enough out of bounds to be able to teleport. So if you do a save load, the game will see that you're out of bounds and will actually just place you fully out of bounds instead of only kind of halfway out, and then we can teleport around. So once he loads in, he'll get the table. And then we're going to move over here because we are right below a hallway later in the level, and the table gives us just enough little extra height to do a height adjust up and just make it into the hallway here.
Also, if you noticed, I had the ammo in my hand because I accidentally put my hand behind my back, but I noticed it and put it back, and that's the reason why I grabbed extra clips.
Yeah.
You can keep going though.
I know if you're shorter, that can definitely be a little bit of a issue because we just make it in there. There was a video I remember seeing once that was like, oh, chapter 3 skip for short people. And I'm like, yep, that's VR running, all right. So here he's height adjusting down and going straight over to the load room. Luckily, the actual trigger for the load goes way below the room, so you can just crawl right forward.
Yeah, and so you just want to, it's actually really easy to fall into the void there if you don't know what you're doing. But if you only go down a certain amount of height, then you can just dive into the load zone. It's fine. And now we're going to do the weirdest zip, I'd say.
Yeah, so he's going to do another shift zip here, or zero zip. And the 000 for this map is out of bounds, so he's going to teleport midway through to stop the 0 zip and end up later in the map. Which worked right there. It can often, your game really likes to drop frames there sometimes, so it can be a little difficult. And now, we're not supposed to be here, but we're just going to go around on these ledges. Doesn't really matter if the Combine shoot us, because we play on easy difficulty. Oh, there you go. Oh, good save. Okay, yeah.
I don't think I even touched the.
Yeah, that was weird. You made the teleport, but then the game threw you back anyways.
That's weird. Okay, whatever.
What we have learned doing VR speedrunning, or specifically Alyx speedrunning, is there is new things we will discover all the time. None of it will ever be useful. It will always be like, oh, I died because who knows why. The game wanted me to.
Yeah.
Sure.
Let's just do this again really quick. Ooh, let me up. There we go. But yeah, since we're on story mode, we really don't take too much damage, and we are rarely ever in combat. There we go. That's how it's supposed to look. I don't know what happened there. But yeah, so that's the end of Chapter 5, and now we're moving on to Chapter 6.
Yeah, Chapter 6 is another one-map chapter, and we're able to just quickly... Yeah, this chapter had a lot of changes.
There's been a
throughout.
lot of stuff, yeah.
Yeah.
There's some really interesting things in this chapter, and there's a glitch coming up that Aura will explain, which is only seen here, but is actually a really cool thing,
Yeah.
and I find it really interesting.
So first thing he's going to do is just do a height adjust down to do some out of bounds movement to get to a little later area. He'll grab onto this ladder because when you grab onto a ladder and let go, it'll just zip you to the top of the ladder in bounds. And here we're going to do a prop drop, which is he's going to pick up this barrel here, drop off the map, and then let go of the barrel right below his feet. And what will happen is the game will stop his momentum, and then he's able to teleport down. Normally you can't make that teleport because it's too far and it will kill you. But because we were already halfway down, it allows us to do the full teleport downwards. And then just a quick height adjust back inwards. And normally there's this very long kind of like puzzle part and also combat and whatever, but instead we can just go up onto this roof and just make it over into the area to load into the next chapter.
Yeah, and also when I was going up that ladder, the reason it got a little wonky is because I actually height adjusted while I was doing it, so that's why I kind of got a little...
Now, the next chapter, Jeff.
Ooh, fun.
Jeff, you think chapter 6 had a lot of upgrades? No, Jeff is what has definitely been one of the biggest time saves in the run. So Jeff is a very long chapter, despite only being one map. There was a new glitch discovered, well, not necessarily discovered recently, but kind of perfected recently that allows Jeff to be done much faster. However, it is ridiculously hard and very new, so we're not doing it right now. Instead, we're going to do a height adjust upwards to get out of bounds. Basically, the new glitch is you do a 0 zip right away, and it places you somewhere way out of bounds.
Like way out of bounds.
But not at a death plane, so you don't die. And you do the thing that you saw at the hatch skip, where he kind of just spins around, going back and forth in his room for almost a full minute until you finally hit some invisible geometry. And all that geometry is really rocky, so you have to try and find the exact right spot of that geometry to height adjust back in bounds and then traverse the rest of the level in invisible geometry to the end. So not exactly marathon save quite yet, so we're not doing that. Instead, you will go around actual visible geometry across the roof of this
sort
building.
of visible.
Yeah.
Way more visible than that, yeah.
Yeah, and back in bounds here. So we skipped the opening segment of Jeff. Small little skip here under the fence, just saves like 2 seconds from going around. And then you're gonna see in a moment here, if you've played this game, you'll know that you have to go to a room off to the side to collect 3 batteries. They're just right here.
Yeah,
So
just cause.
When the devs were making the game, they must have made these batteries so that they wouldn't have to go collect them every time while testing. So instead, they just left the batteries there, and they put a trigger that normally on a normal playthrough you would hit to make the batteries disappear. But instead, we skip that trigger and we're able to just use those.
And now this is gonna be my best friend, Jeff. Look how cute he is. Oh, he doesn't want to see me though right now. We're not in speaking terms.
You can soft lock with Jeff quite often. Specifically, I soft lock with Jeff quite often. I don't know why I have such a bad time with it, but he will just, instead of bashing on the console there like he's supposed to, he'll like bash right outside the door as if he's bashing on the console, and then he will, after that, he will ignore any other sounds. He will not do anything. He will just be stuck there.
Come here.
You can't progress.
Come on. No. Go to the left. Yeah, right. Thank you. He's very kind. So we're just gonna put him back to sleep.
He gets a little timeout.
He's our good friend. Also, you never saw this guy. You're supposed to meet him, but we completely skipped him. So
He's talking as
he
if
disappears, and he knows us.
Oh,
I
you
don't
may
know
also
how.
notice the plug that's supposed to be blocking you is invisible. There is still collision, so we can't actually just go through, but yeah, still have to do that to make the...
Now again, we
collision go
skip
away.
the flashlight because when you're playing through this normally, you'll have a flashlight, so you're not just going through this pure darkness. But since we skipped that, we can't really see, but it doesn't matter because we already know where we're going.
Yeah. This next glitch isn't like the craziest glitch in the world, but is just dumb. So
it's
you know
very
those
dumb.
gates earlier where
Yeah.
he had to kind of pull on the handle and then walk through to be able to get through? Well, this gate's a bit different. Instead of having a physical lock, it has like an electronic lock, and you have to get a battery and put the battery in, and it will unlock it. In a second, once he gets there,
There we go.
you're gonna see he's gonna go up to the gate and just walk into it, and the gate just opens.
Just opens.
If you just walk into the gate, it just unlocks for some reason.
You're supposed to grab an item and put it inside. It's supposed to be like a small
Yes.
little discovery puzzle, but
Also, right
Or you
here,
just-
you'll notice he just walked out of bounds. You can just go up that wall.
yeah, so that's going through a ceiling actually. Like, but
Yeah.
you're
and
just
for
able
some
to.
reason, on this map specifically, there's just a huge plane out of bounds that you can teleport on. Sure, why not?
Ooh, can I get it? Ooh, there we go.
And then this is the room to the load area. You have to load from the side. If you load from the top, you'll spawn into the next area without your gun or your gloves or anything.
Yeah, your hands just don't exist.
And you'll just
and you
yeah,
just
and you'll
can't
just
do
be
anything.
soft-locked.
Yeah, so you would have to go and reset. That's why we don't go to the top. And also on the side, it's actually a very small little trigger. So sometimes you'll teleport where you think you have been a million times, and it's like, no, you're not there. So you just like tilt your head a little bit.
Yeah.
Because also I forgot to mention, it only checks for where you are based off of where your headset is, not where your gloves are. Sorry, your hands. So whenever you need to go into a load zone, you want to think about where your head is in virtual space.
Next up here, there's going to be some combine officers here, and we're just going to go right past them into this little shack. If he goes up to these stairs here, it actually despawns all the enemies behind him, just doing some cleanup, but we're going to go back here, because now that they're not here, we can hide just up here and just make it through this little crack in the fence. And now that we're here up on the porta potty, this little roof here that we're not supposed to be on, we can just kind of traverse up here, and just miss a trigger when you're going over here, and some antlines that normally would spawn over in that room will not spawn, going on just random objects that you're definitely not supposed to be teleporting
Yeah,
to.
because
We
we don't
completely
want
skip this whole
to.
area.
We don't want to wait to make that bridge over there, so we just skip it.
Yeah.
And now we're, as you can really see, we're just, this level is just a little different than it's supposed to be played. So once I start falling, I know I'm back in the right place. I walk backwards to hit the trigger to load this entire area.
Yeah, so this whole area would be invisible if he hadn't kind of stepped back a bit there.
On my way.
And then do an
Did I get
extended
it?
jump.
Yes.
Yep, extended
First
jump
try,
right
extended
there.
jump. That's redemption for first part of the run.
Yep, and now we're on chapter 10 out of 11, so we're almost done. To those of you who've played this game, you remember how long it took. Probably like good 10 plus hours or so. Now we're
10
already,
to
we're
like
already
20
chapter
hours,
10.
whatever it is. Yeah, yeah. This game is really, really good, by the way.
Yeah, so good.
It's sort of my favorite game ever made.
Alright, so next glitch here. You're gonna get to this barrel here, and then he's going to do a height adjust up and do a save load. This area happens to be right below a ladder that's up above there that takes us to a later part of the level. So once he loads back in, the game will see he's out of bounds and kind of shift him upwards to try and place it where it thinks he's supposed to be standing, and he'll be close enough to the ladder to be able to grab onto it and then be brought back in bounds.
Yeah. If you want to do one quick donation, you probably get one in.
All right, we have $25 from Snowfats.
Oh my boy.
How much do I need to donate to get you to dab?
$25. And in that case,
There it is. All right, normally you're supposed to kind of go around this whole building. Instead, we can just make it up on that little bit of catwalk there.
I see it. We're almost
Just on this one little tiny bit of barbed wire. Just like balancing on your toes.
Alex, dead ahead.
okay. Now, so first we're gonna explain this, and then it's an auto-scroller. So yeah, if you notice, there's, don't you feel like there should be something drawn here, Aura?
Yeah,
so.
I think there might be a giant floating ship thing, possibly.
Yeah, the thing we saw throughout the entire run, yeah, it's supposed to be right there.
But we skipped the trigger, so it's not there.
Fully extended.
But force field, sure, why not?
Gently dock the vault to the
But yeah, so
bridge.
we just need to throw these switches, and then there's gonna be some stuff happening. If you want to get in a donation real quick.
Well, one of these has to bring in the vault.
We have $20 from Oddball Frequency.
Certainly.
Maybe?
Hey, Buffet, it's Danny. Hope the weather is good Sunday so we can go to the beach. Me, Anthony, Enrique, and Phil are shooting you energy right now.
My boy, love you. Okay, now, so as you can see, since it's not there, they spawn in a bunch of props, and there's a lot of things you see behind the scenes that are obscured, but because it's not there, you get to see all this like, oh, Valve added some stuff in to make it look cooler.
Yeah,
now
sudden
we're gonna
explosion of
embrace the
nowhere.
explosion of nothingness that came out of
Yeah.
nowhere.
Yeah, it's supposed to look like there's a bunch of debris falling off it, whatever, and then it slams in the ground in an explosion, but no, it's just suddenly things appearing and then explosion. Sure, why not? I guess all that little debris must have been pretty heavy, huh?
Yeah. All right, now, so after this load zone is going to be really interesting because we're going to do quite a lot of extended jumps.
Yeah, this
we're
is
going to
probably-
skip a lot of stuff.
This is probably the newest skip, like big skip found.
Yeah.
We used to do another kind of height adjust down and spin in circles like done with hatch skip. But now since extended jumps exist, we can do that and we can do it much faster and also skip another part that we had to do anyways. So Luckily, that little bit that we have to skip included this gun that you shoot a strider with that I hate. It's so bad. It never works. Every single time you try to use it, for some reason, you'll pull back and then the game will just force you to let go of the lever on it and you just cannot shoot it. And I've literally died to it multiple times and lost runs. So my god, am I so glad that we skipped that now. Especially considering it's like the end of the run. Anyways, there we go.
This is really difficult, and if you're... So, like, sometimes you'll get the extended jumps, like, every single time. And then other times, you just keep messing them up. It's really annoying. They're really, really difficult.
Yeah, so he basically just has to do, like, 5 or 6 of them in a row.
I just had it too.
Also, it definitely is dependent on the frame rate, or, like, the speed at which it's drawing everything, because, like, sometimes it'll be working fine if I have certain apps open. Since I have to stream this and also put it on Discord, I think that might be the issue. I'm not sure, but we got this. The first try on that, that's the most difficult one for me, that last one, just because out there is... Okay, so we just skipped the entire strider skip. Now we're gonna stand as still as possible, because if we move around, we might just die at the end of this warp up.
Yeah, the game doesn't like you exiting the beam, so it just kills you instantly. I've had it before where the game will just kill me even if I haven't moved. If you just, once I got to the top, it just killed me anyways. And then sometimes I've had it where I'll get to the top, and then it will play the death sound, and then it will load the next area anyways.
Dad?
I'll just T-pose until I'm done.
Alright, and now we're on to chapter 11, final chapter, and it's sure a quick one as well. So,
So we're coming up on the end real quick.
yeah. So what he's gonna do is immediately height adjust up and then swap back over to shift movement to do a 0 zip. The 000 for this upcoming map is, it happens to be like right at the end of the map again. However, it's quite a bit underneath the floor, so he needs to do the height adjust just to get that little bit of extra room to make it. And now he's just above the floor and can do a save load to get back onto the floor and able to go right into the load room, which is right in front of him.
Also, that zip was really fast. That's one of the fastest ones I've ever gotten.
Nice.
Yeah. Also, same thing with zips. Like, some days you'll be doing them perfectly every single time, and then the next day you're just like, There's just so many, like, very minute things in this game that, like, you get a feel of, but yeah.
Also, he had to teleport back there because the trigger to make the door open was like just a little bit behind him.
Yeah, because we zipped to 0, which is because normally you'd walk across the bridge so it would just open, but we're a little bit past that, so we just go right back. And now this load happens, and if you want to get one donation in real quick,
Like a really quick one.
yeah.
All right, we have $333.33 from Ian Boswell, because Gabe Newell can't count to it.
Alright, so the end is coming up soon. The end will be when the glass shatters and there's a big explosion of white.
And I will say so.
Yeah.
Yep. So we just have to wait a little bit, and then my hands will glow. Now I grab, and time is now. Time. And that is Gordon Freeman.
Yep, there he
But
is, Gordon Freeman.
Before we do anything else, we're just gonna height adjust real quick.
Oh, yeah.
All right. Well, I'll explain that later. But first, thank you guys so much for letting us do this run and show it off to everyone. Quickly, I just want to do shout-outs to Psych, Dilly, Keegan, and the rest of the Half-Life Alyx speedrunning community. And also big shout-outs to 2838, Lifeless, and Darko for making the auto-splitter, because without that, this would be really annoying. Also, big shout-outs to everyone else, and also, I love my girlfriend. So, do you have anything to say real quick, Aura?
I just want to say thanks for letting me come here and commentate. I've definitely been watching GDQ runs for quite a few years now. I never really thought I'd be getting into one myself. I never really thought I'd actually be high on a leaderboard for any game, and so being here is honestly just awesome.
Yeah, and also, please, if you guys have any interest in this game or speedrunning in general for Source games, please go to discord.gg/sourceruns. We're in the Source 2 general and all those channels, because this is a Source 2 game, not Source 1. And so if you have any questions at all about getting into VR, getting into this game, speedrunning it, please go there. We're always there, and we're more than willing to help you guys out. And yeah, that's pretty much it. Also, G-Man's a little small.
Combine off Earth. I want the Combine off Earth.
All right, what an awesome moment for Games Done Quick, the first ever VR game. Coming up next, we have a game whose title I, in my extremely tenor voice, cannot pronounce correctly. So I'm going to hand the hosting mic to my friend, Mr. Game and Shout, who should hopefully be able to tell you what's up next properly. In the meantime, I'm going to head over and become your stream tech for a few hours, and I'm going to send you over to
What is going on, everybody? This is Summer Games Done Quick 2020 online, powered by Twitch. So good to be back with you. I am Mr. Game and Shout, and I'm going to be hanging out with you here as we get ready for our upcoming run that is going to be Doom Eternal. I'm going to see how long I can do that and still have a voice. We're actually going to have the recap before we get to that, but while we're getting ready for the recap, I've got some donations. So let's go ahead and work on that. There is a lot of love here for that Half-Life Alyx run that we just had. Let's see what I can do to get caught up here. Well, let's go ahead and start with a $250 donation from the runner themselves, Buffet Time. Thank you, GDQ, for letting me run Alyx. All right, seriously, big thank you to everybody out there watching who donated to make that run happen. Just another way that nothing that GDQ does would be possible without all of your support, your donations, your hype, your love of the lamp, the works. I've also got a $10 donation from Simply Seas. This was the coolest speed run I have seen in a long time. Keep moving, Buffet Time. Way to take an amazing game and find a way to speed run on a new platform. There's also $50 here from Sean. This Half-Life Alyx run is phenomenal. Shut up and take my money. $20 in from ASmith1313. Watching Buffet Time crawl around during this Half-Life run, how could I not donate? That was definitely the most physical speed run I have seen in a while. That was That was very three-dimensional. Oh yeah, let's just take care of this little one here. The mongoose sent in $1,200. Holy cow! Thank you so much for that. And they say, I am so glad to be able to give this donation during this run. When I noticed that a VR game was on the schedule, I could not wait. I've also got a $100 donation here from Metal Slime. Donating to a game I can't watch, Half-Life Alyx. I haven't finished the game yet. I am, however, very excited to see a VR game at GDQ. I'm hoping to see more of them in the future. All right, everybody, we are going to be cutting the stream very briefly. Stay right where you are. Don't go anywhere. We will be right back with you before you even know it. We're back. We're back. Oh, thank goodness. It was dark. It was lonely. Oh, but you're all here. Thank goodness. Welcome back, everyone. Again, this is Summer Games Done Quick 2020 online. I just glanced over at the stream, saw how close we are to 750K. Holy cow. Whew. All right. Let's get back into the swing of things here with a few more donations. We've got $50 here from Tef, utterly in awe of the VR speedrun. For real, though, that was incredible. I've also got $25 here from Gibber Mad. Excited for the Doom Eternal run, but dang, very glad I tuned in early and caught Alyx. All right, and with that, I've got word. We are ready for the daily recap. Let's go to the crew.
Thank you so much, Game and Shout. Welcome, everybody. It is time for your daily recap of the day that we do once a day. At the end
And
of the
welcome,
day.
everyone. I believe
It's the
Hobbs'
show.
mic is still muted.
Sure
Muted.
It's okay. It's okay. They heard me.
Okay.
You guys just didn't. So it's all good.
Okay.
It's all good. We are here. We're going to be recapping some stuff. And I was also doing that intentionally because today's recap includes Silly Block.
Right.
Yeah, that's how you save it.
Let's go.
That's how you save face. It's great. Normally, I'd be introducing the first step with keys on right now, so this is a little
Super silly.
familiar and also
we don't
weird.
know how to intro if you haven't noticed in like 5, 6, 7 months.
Oh yeah. Yeah, check out the GDQ Hotfix shows, everybody, in between events. But that's not what we're talking about right now. We're talking about SGDQ Thursday, and we want all of you out there to let us know as we show some clips and we talk about some runs that we don't have clips for, but we just wanted to mention as well. What for you was the highest energy clip out of what we're showing? Who had their wings on today, man? Like who was doing just such a great job. So vote with the GDQ Wings emote in chat, which is probably over. I have to do mental math to think of which way to point. I think it's that way. No.
I hope you're completely wrong.
Yes, this way, I think. I don't know.
Dang it.
In any case, use that GDQ Wings emote. Let's get into the clips. I'm going to keep talking because the first one's mine. Devil May Cry 4 Special Edition. So someone had to like point this moment out for me. Went back and watched it. Totally agreed. It's amazing.
Oh my God.
This runner is like inches away from the boss being dead. Might as well have been a double KO, and then they die right after during the God's Must Die showcase. Like this is just. It was so unbelievable. This is someone who could have used a little more energy, I guess. So a little bit of an alternative submission for me tonight. I'm good. Let's watch it one more time.
His face is so great. Oh my God.
I love that he gets an inch away from the camera. It's so
The big slash at the end. All right, let's move on to the next one though, because we could have made Silly Block the entire thing, the daily recap, but we had to just pick one to keep ourselves limited. Keys, what do we got here?
So we got Azgan the Dragon Slayer, and I liked this clip because it was basically the Silly Block in one clip. He's not touching his controller right now. All of this, it's just happening. This is the game saying, "Hey, we're here." And as the clip progresses, you're gonna see he's gonna do some like pause buffering stuff, right? But that's not the biggest reason why I think this is a high flying clip. First and foremost, he's gonna do a huge dive, and if you want to be literal, there's a lot of high flying here, but. So he's gonna fail the trick once, I believe, but he face plants. Here comes the boss. I wonder if this is no. Okay, so he had to redo it here. So he had to do the trick twice. So he does the face plant again, which I mean it's just as funny the second time as the first. And as the boss loads in, this has never happened to me before moment. Where's the boss? Just went through the floor. Literal Silly Block all in one clip. And so this is my moment of the past 24 hours for sure.
The runner had no idea that was going to happen.
He was so dumbfounded.
It was amazing. That was a long one, though. Let's roll into the next one. Spike, you're kind of cheating on this one, but what's going on?
about to say, I literally just got to do this. So Raikaru on the left side of the screen puts down a bomb shoe. He didn't mean to put it there. Starts climbing up. Or did he mean to do it? Hits the crystal from a literal continent away. I'm pretty sure it's a crystal in a different dungeon altogether. I guarantee you there are speedrunners for Ocarina of Time who are getting in the lab right now and saying, okay, what was the angle he took? Okay, what's the setup for it? My man did not need a setup tonight. Again, here it is again. He tries to set out a bomb shoe, accidentally turns around, sends it up. The amount, it is a small miracle that it hit that crystal. Oh my God.
That crystal might as well have been off in like Majora's Mask or Link's Awakening or something. Like it was just gone.
Across dungeons, games, and consoles, and IPs everywhere. It was in Kingdom Hearts 2.9. This is a great one. This is a lot of fun to get to commentate. And that's the greatest bomb shoe shot in the history of Ocarina of Time. That was crazy.
The underappreciated part of that clip was
of course
wooden barrel
I have
sliding.
I have to pick Half-Life. I mean, this run just basically just got over, but talk about high energy. I mean, it's not just in the game. Like the runner himself, Buffet Time, had to have high energy just to do the run, because you can see him up in the upper corner turning around. So for this clip, he's just doing a zip which is pretty common in games, but probably more disorienting when you're experiencing in VR, I'm guessing, when you just fly through the window like that.
I can imagine.
Right, exactly. And then if you go to the next one.
Yes, we got 2 clips for Half-Life Alyx.
This one, you get to see like him in action, literally in action to get this clip. He has to crawl underneath this hatch. So if you look on the left, there he is. He's got to crawl down, and then he has to wave his head back and forth to wiggle his way underneath. And it's just the best. Like, talk about a workout. Good. Like, he was breathing heavy during this run, which was amazing. It's just like, I feel like this speed run is not for the faint of heart. Literally.
It's a great workout.
Yeah.
I know, right? Talk about dedication to your speed game right there. Like, that is... They're leaping.
Yeah.
Like, he's just leaping back and forth. I'm scared he's going to hit his dresser, you know?
I know. Oh, it looks like it multiple times.
I asked him if he's ever broken anything, and he says not quite yet, but he has hit things with his hands pretty hard. So,
oh, I'm sure.
Yeah, it's definitely a danger. There's a whole new level of things that can go wrong in a speedrun like this.
God, I want VR speedruns at the rest of my GDQs. That was so good.
Yeah, no kidding.
We're pausing the clips there. That's all we got for the clips. But there was so much action today on Thursday because, like we said, Silly Block was last night. A lot of things to shout out. I know for me personally, I love whenever world records and PBs and that kind of thing happen at GDQs as well. So I want to shout out Hypnospace Outlaw. Liz Starr actually got a world record. Didn't realize it at the time of the run. And found out later it was a new world record. But then that basically happened again because we had Yakuza later on in the day where the runner actually got a PB and didn't realize until after the fact. So both of them didn't get their like GDQ pop-off moment, and they deserve it though anyways because those runs were just fantastic.
Yeah, big shout outs to the Mega Man 9 race. A lot of people might have checked out of that race early. One of the runners taking a couple of deaths in the second stage. A lot of people saying, oh, okay, this race is over. I would go back, not so fast, my friends. I would go back and watch that race. I'm just saying, might have been a little closer than you thought it was going to be. And like you said, the entirety of Silly Block could have been on here. Night Trap, Night Trap. How can we not talk about Night Trap?
Night Trap was so good. Oh man, that was just incredible.
Night Trap was ridiculous because as we were prepping I had an interview after that. As we were prepping, I was talking to Liz the whole time, and I'm just like, what the heck is going on the entire time? And then there's just a bunch of laughter in the background, like, this fool doesn't know what he's watching.
It was so good, unbelievable. Blindfolded too. YKB, any last like honorable mentions for you from today? Stuff that maybe we just couldn't clip, we couldn't bring down into the conciseness of a clip, but deserves to be shouted out.
I mean, I have to go with the Silly Games block as well. I watched a little bit of that. There was Liz's run, which when I watched that game, I was like, I have to go back and play this casually because it just seems like right up my alley.
Right.
Like that kind of like adventure-y, but like also like a point and click, and it's based on like the 90s web, which was totally like my era. So, I mean, I'm definitely going to go back and play that game, and the speed run was just really, I mean, it was a lot of fun.
And of course, St. Hazel's Hospital as well was fantastic from that. I got to interview Bullets for that. It was just a treat. If you like those horse mask memes that have been around for like 10 years, it feels like at this point, check that one out. But with that, I think we're pretty much going to be done here, folks. There are still so many awesome runs from Thursday that you could go check out. I've heard great things about Homie. Did not get the chance to check that one out, so I'm going to be clicking those VODs, checking that myself. It's a thing? All right. Certified.
If you don't want to drink coffee, watch the run. Trust me. I'm living proof. Trust me.
All right. Certified a thing by Keyzeron. We've got so many runs left to go as well. Thank you all. Remember, you can type the GQ Wings emote in chat. I keep pointing down. Chat's over there, I think. And let us know if you have a suggestion that wasn't covered in this recap today. But we got to get ready for our next run, so I'm going to give it on back to Mr. Game and Shout. Thank you, everybody.
Have a good night.
Bye.
Awesome. Thanks, y'all. All right, as we get ready for this Doom Eternal run, and yes, I'm going to do that as long as I am capable, some more donations. Here's $100 that I've got in from Kindlejack. $750, here we come. Love you, GDQ. We are really close on that $750 as well. Under $8,000 away from hitting $750,000. I know y'all can do it. And hey, while you're sending in those donations, believe it or not, somehow we still have incentives that are yet to be met. It's the craziest thing. Let me see over here. Next unlockable, if you want to put towards adding some more content, we've still got the level 1 Super Bosses incentive for Kingdom Hearts 2 Final Mix. That's sitting at about 21,000 out of 25,000. Or maybe you want to influence some of the things that are coming up in the runs themselves. For example, we still have a couple of bidding wars going on for this upcoming Doom Eternal run. We've got an incentive for the skin used by the Doom guy. The leading contender there is the Doomicorn. Oh, kind of want Doomicorn to win now. We've also got an incentive around the sound pack choice between Classic Sounds and Doom Eternal Sounds. It looks like Classic is in the lead by about $260. You've still got time to weigh in on those until the run begins, so if you're interested in influencing how things go, definitely jump in with those donations. I've got a $25 donation here from Mad God Rando. Game and Shout commentating Doom. Oh my. Doom. I survived it. I did it. See, there's a $75 donation here. Amazing. VR on GDQ is a real milestone. Now, let's get ready for some Doom. Oh, hey, I love hearing from family. We've got $20 here from Helmet Guy. Helmet Guy, aka Commander Keen here. Good luck to my grandson Doom Guy as he rips and tears his way to hell and back. You better not get stuck knee-deep in the dead or the universe is toast. Fuji64 sends in $100. Let's rip and tear.